You know that no BBC equals anger.
I don't know what no BBC. What is that?
No BBC equals anger, bro.
All right, sure. I know now.
So do you know Low Tier God? You should kill yourself now.
Yeah, I only know
God.
it because of that.
Okay, so I sent that speech in general, but I sent the speech after that as well, and you got to watch that one. Basically, if you don't have a big black dick, you're angry, and that's why people are racist.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir. But before we do watch that, so this is the Pop Sugar Podcast, our newest episode, the Aliens episode. Now, when you're hearing this, we do have a prior episode recorded. I just haven't finished editing that one because I kind of wanted to do something with this episode. So this episode and the prior episode is going to be a little out of order. But before we start, how's everyone been? How's everyone doing?
I started Flowers of Evil. I'm on chapter 4. We'll see how that goes next time we record.
Pretty good. I personally recommended him and his girlfriend it. I love it. It's a weird manga. Don't watch the anime. The anime is kind of ass. Isaiah, what about you?
I'm pretty good. I've just been playing Dead by Daylight like a shitload.
Gay. Dead by Daylight.
Also, I have a new obsession called Baldur's Gate 3. It's become a part of my personality now, and I have like 4 different playthroughs I'm currently doing.
Baldur's Gate 3 is pretty tight, I'm not gonna lie. That shit is very cool. Isaiah, any outside of Dead by Daylight, anything else? Like, have you been working on YouTube content?
Been thinking about working on YouTube content.
All right, perfect. That
counts.
That fits perfectly with the show because
I thought it would.
Today's episode, you guys are gonna really enjoy. So,
Cool.
Towards the end of July, a highly anticipated congressional hearing took place. 3 military veterans testified in front of cameras in the whole world that the U.S. recovered non-humanoid biologics and have been reverse engineering their technology today. And today's episode of the Pop Sugar Podcast is a redux of our prior Alien episode.
God.
So do you guys remember anything from our prior Aliens episode? Because I have been re-listening to the episode.
Are you talking about
one of my favorite
children?
Star Children
and me
and Superpowers.
freaking the fuck out.
Star Children and Superpowers. Great. That's perfect.
I remember that.
All right, cool. So how do you feel about the latest UFO hearing and hearing that like the US have recovered some kind of alien life and technology?
Do you want my hot take?
I want your hot take.
PSYOP.
I want hot takes.
My hot take is literally just that I think it's complete bullshit. I think that the congressional hearing was complete nonsense, and I don't believe any of like what they were saying.
Okay, so you're wrong, by the way.
Well, I'm not, but okay.
I don't think it's complete bullshit, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, what was it during the 2008 recession that they released all those CIA documents to make the public like feel safe?
Listen, man.
That's what I'm thinking. That's
exactly what they're doing, and like the documents they released, they're like, we probably killed we probably did kill Martin Luther King, but we probably killed Malcolm X, and it's like, yeah, I knew that.
But low key, they just want to be safe and just like, hey, here's all this cool shit we got. What a world burns, bro. Because there's a reason why I think it's a psyop, and it's later in my script.
I'm depressed and I have bills to pay. Like, I don't have time.
They always roll out aliens when there's like other important shit that they don't want people to be looking at.
Okay, fair. So many of the reported sightings and reports stem from the military, or at least what I believe the government calls credible. The Navy on record has acknowledged 2 near misses that required evasive action and triggered mandatory safety reports from 2004 and to 2021. And I also am putting in the show notes a CBS article recapping the events. So the main person that everyone's fixated on is David Grush. David Grush is an intelligence officer in the Air Force. He was with the Air Force for 14 years and appeared before the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee alongside two former fighter pilots who have firsthand experience with UAPs. We probably know both of them.
We talked about that on the episode,
We talked about that on older episodes. So Grush served as a representative on two Pentagon task forces investigations, investigating UAPs until early this year. So he told lawmakers that he was informed of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. And during the course of his work examining classified programs, he said he was denied access to those programs when he requested it and accused the military of misappropriating funds to shield these operations from congressional oversight. He later said he had interviewed officials who had direct knowledge of aircraft with non-human origins and that so-called biologics were recovered from some craft. The hearing also heard testimony from Ryan Graves and David Fravor, the two Air Force pilots we were talking about in our former Aliens episode. So Graves is a former Navy pilot, and Fravor, who, if you remember from the last episode, was the pilot who spotted the infamous Tic Tac video. That was around 2014, and we watched it in a prior episode and we talked about it. So what's interesting, Go ahead.
Are we ever going to bring up the guy who got molested by aliens as a kid on his farm?
we can
that's
bring
what
that
I'm worried
up.
about. No, that's who I'm like, was he right?
We can bring that up later. He's not in my script because I remember listening to the episode. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Like that's the only it's kind of like Game of Thrones at like season 4 where there's.
This is exactly like Game of Thrones.
This is exactly like Game of Thrones.
We did watch the documentary on him, so yeah.
Or The Sopranos, where it's like there's only like one person at that point that you can root for, and you're like, I hope you turn out okay. I hope your plotline turns out good.
Now, from all of like what I've like kind of like previously looked up, I'm pretty sure he's still alive and still doing art and shit. So I'm like, I think he's okay. So what's interesting is all three reported current reporting systems are inadequate to investigate UAP encounters, and said a stigma still exists for pilots and officials who press for more transparency about their experiences, which I fully believe and unfortunately will not lose because of a varied amount of reasons. Because I feel like the whole UFO UAP discussion sphere is too polluted with conspiratorial, racist, and new agey bullshit, right? So there's one topic I want to talk about because I find it the most interesting: the search for life outside of our universe. You
sent me on TikTok?
No, that's some other shit. That's for a whole different episode. That's I have a flat earther giants episode planned.
No, it actually messed up my algorithm. I was embarrassed for the first time. I was embarrassed not having a bunch like you know how people are like, oh yeah, your For You page, if you have ass shaken on your For You page, like I'd rather have had ass shaken on my For You page because
great
kinds of like conspiracy TikToks showed up on my For You page were insane.
Half of them are Antarctica giants, and there's a giant ice wall, and there's like a whole different fucking area of Earth that's unexplored. It's crazy. We're gonna save that.
It's just a cool sci-fi book trilogy that they think is real.
So legit,
it's a fake for real.
Legit, the person who wrote the book, I was listening to, shout out to Illuminati. That's why I wanted to bring back the podcast and do this. They have a great episode on that, and it really is just a D&D campaign that got turned into a book. It's weird, but the idea I was talking about with the search for life outside of our universe, I want to talk about like multiverse theory. So like, what if multiverse theory is true? Multiverse theory suggests that our universe, with all its hundreds and billions of galaxies, almost countless stars, spanning tens of billions of light years, may not be the only one. The Big Bang might not have been a unique event, but a common one. There may be an entirely different universe distantly separated from ours, and you have no idea how life could have evolved there, right? So that's where the interdimensional hypothesis comes in. So the theory states that UFO sightings are the result of interdimensional beings traveling from one universe to another. No. I personally like this idea because science is not always set in stone, and maybe 10 years from now or 20, we might have an amazing breakthrough and discover that we can traverse space and time itself, you know? As well as that, hang on, David Grush, who we spoke about earlier in this episode, said during the testimonial, it could be that, if not necessarily extraterrestrial, and is actually coming from a higher dimensional physical space that might be co-located right here, which personally I have seen.
How have thou fallen?
Which personally I have seen floated before as an idea. Maybe alien life has always been here, but on another plane of existence, or maybe, which I've seen the conspiracy like spun like dozens of ways, but one where I'm like, that's kind of neat, is that like we've discovered time travel in the far future, and it's just evolved humans coming back to warn us from destroying our planet. Like climate change has fucked us up so badly in plastic and shit, where it's like we have like bigger eyes, our cranium has kind of like evolved, we got shorter and like skinnier as a species, and like our pigment kind of dying because like our fucking sun and our planet's dying. I always thought that was a neat idea, right? But
can I say so? Can I intercede for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Feel free.
Okay, so I think Isaiah's gonna get with me on this. I've been fascinated with this phenomena of how, like how we say sometimes time is a flat circle, where we in the age of information that we have, we've gone back to peasant level conspiracy theories of how the world works.
I'm so glad you're bringing that up, because I make a point about that later.
This sounds like this is just the new age version of like, you see, and so King Arthur will return and save us, and he fought a dragon, and magic is real, and if you have sex before you're married, your balls will explode. Like, it's
you're right, I completely agree with you.
No, like, it's just like you're just hitting me with that. Like, it's just Magic the Gathering, and it's like, that's a cool idea. It's nonsense words.
But one thing has to be considered, right?
No.
That UFO sightings are not a new phenomenon. UFO sightings go back to ancient times, maybe as early as man developed. And to take it with a grain of salt, I have two examples. So my first example,
an entire shaker of salt, because this sounds like bullshit.
So the first example is Thutmose III, and the Jebel Barkal Stele. So after
names,
I can't pronounce that for shit. After this is like early history. So after conquering Napata, an ancient Nubian city, Thutmose III.
No, we're not getting into Hotep.
Listen.
We're not getting into Hotep stuff.
Thutmose III was the 6th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. He ruled Egypt for approximately from 1479 BC to 1425 BC. And
wait. Say those dates again. I'm fact checking you.
No, 1479 BC to 1425 BC. Fact check me. I want you to do it right now live on the podcast.
Wait. Say them one more time, but slowly. I can't quite hear.
1479 BC to 1425 BC. And the name is Thut, Thutmose, III, and type in Pharaoh. And it's legit, bro. It's real, bro.
That's like saying like Pocahontas is legit. Like, yes, the Pocahontas existed, but she didn't.
She happily married that white man. She totally wasn't a child when they met.
Who got like sexually assaulted. Like, no. She was this of age hot princess. Who could talk to trees.
So after his victory, he had a stele erected at the temple of Amun, and apparently the stele described how a star came down to set fire to Thutmose's adversaries. And many ufologists cite this story from the Thule Papyrus, a reported translation during the reign of Thutmose, but Edward Coulon, an American nuclear physicist, basically called it bullshit. And personally, it does sound like bullshit.
Ufologists?
Yeah.
I didn't want to like jump in again, but I don't think there's such a thing as a ufologist.
No, it is. You're a professional a studier of UFOs and ufology. Yes. Yes. And my second one is something interesting. So I'm gonna first post this picture in our Discord we are recording this in.
If this is some bullshit, I'm calling you out on it.
No, don't. I put this in my fucking Google Doc. Now I have to literally go to Google, grab the photo, and place it in here. But if you're familiar with this and you know the image, once you see it, you're gonna know all too well. So this is the 1561 celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg. So
Darian, this is scary.
So it was a mass sighting of unidentified flying objects above Nuremberg, Germany. But this idea has been mostly criticized, and explanations have been offered, making this event mostly dismissed by skeptics, which is something like I agree if you look at the time this was happening. So a lot of the skeptics refer to Carl Jung, whose 1958 book Flying Saucers, A Modern Myth of Things Seen in the Skies, analyzed the meaning, expressing it was most likely a natural event, and the artistic depiction was expressed with religious and military interpretations, which is something where I'm like, I believe, and I have a video to play for you guys real quick.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Yep, I have a video for you guys as well, so we're just gonna go in here. So go ahead and hop on my stream.
Any of this. I'm gonna go.
All right. Isaiah's in.
You could trust a YouTube channel called History Pod.
All right. With 62 likes and no dislikes, yeah. All right. Here it is. So we're going to play this for a couple minutes. Okay. We're not going to play the whole video.
On the 14th of April, 1561,
he sounds like
in Germany witnessed a dreadful apparition in the sky. Welcome to history.
In the sky.
This is my nightmare.
Vsauce Michael here.
UFO enthusiasts have used the Nuremberg celestial phenomenon as evidence of extraterrestrial life, although various scientists have also put forward their own explanations of why hundreds of people saw what was described as an aerial battle raging in front of the sun.
So he brings up something where I'm like, that's actually really interesting, because when I first saw this, I was genuinely like, wow, if I was very religious or I was kind of schizophrenic, I would 100% have a coming to Jesus moment. So listen to this.
UFO skeptic Frank Johnson wrote an argument suggesting that the people of Nuremberg witnessed a parhelion, otherwise known as a sundog, which is caused by light refracting through clouds of ice crystals.
That's interesting, and this one right here,
this was combined
if I was schizophrenic and I'm down on my luck and I see this, I'm having a coming to Jesus moment. So if you're listening to this and you're not watching,
if I'm a 14th century peasant and I see that, I get it.
Yeah.
But we also live in the time where you have iPhone and you have Bill Nye Science Guy.
iPhone.
And you have
iPhone. All right, so that was that was the first video on that. So
if that was your standard of video scholarship, I'm concerned.
No,
Bomber guy over here with his sources.
I'm coming at it, bro. I have so many videos. So the photo I sent Dane and Isaiah is the full picture of the aerial phenomena over Nuremberg, and it has text accompanying it, and I'm going to read it. So in the morning of April 14, 1561, at daybreak between 4 and 5 a.m., a dreadful apparition occurred on the sun, and then this was seen in Nuremberg in the city, before the gates and in the country by many men and women. At first there appeared in the middle of the sun 2 blood-red semicircular arcs, just like the moon in its last quarter, and in the sun above and below on both sides the color was blood. There stood a round ball of partly dull, partially black ferrous color. Likewise, there stood on both sides. Sorry, I had tuna fish for lunch. And as a torus above the sun, such blood red ones, and other balls in large number. About 3 in a line and 4 in a square, also some alone. In between these globes there were visible a few blood red crosses, between which there were blood red strips, becoming thicker to the rear and in the front, malleable like the rods of reed grass, which were intermingled among them 2 big rods, one on the right, the other to the left, and within the small and big rods there were 3. Also 4 and more globes. These all started to fight among themselves. So the globes which had first in the sun flew out to the one standing on both sides. Thereafter, the globes standing outside the sun and the small and large rods flew into the sun. Beside the globes oh my god, I'm sorry guys, I took speech as a kid. Sometimes L's trip me up. flew back and forth among themselves and fought vehemently with each other for over an hour. And with the conflict in and again out of the sun was most intense, they become fatigued to such an extent that they all, as said above, fell from the sun down upon the earth as if they all burned, and then wasted away on the earth with immense smoke. After all this was something like a black spear, very long and thick. Sighted, the shaft pointed to the east.
How far are we in this?
My shaft is starting to point east, if you know what I'm saying. Like, we need to speed the shit up.
The point pointed west.
How like 15th century people describe shit. Because like we can never get an idea of what something looks like.
Hang on.
They'll mention.
Let me finish the last. Let me finish the last line. Let me finish the last line at least. Whatever such signs mean, God alone knows.
Okay. I have an actual question.
Yes.
So what year was this phenomenon?
1561.
Was it actually recorded and put to writing in 1561, or was it put in there?
Yes. It was like multiple people saw it and they were like going around grabbing accounts, and like the person who wrote this, it was a broadsheet news article printed in April 1561 describing a mass sighting of celestial phenomena. So it was like a newspaper.
So it was relatively recent to when this sighting or whatever happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It happened over Nuremberg, then a free imperial city of the Roman Empire. It was then a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, people saw something.
I'm sure people saw something, but people are fucking stupid, especially ones in the 1500s who don't know their ass from their nose. Like, what are you talking? Like, I don't believe. I think people are just stupid.
like when you had pneumonia, they were just like, no, you have bad humors. Like,
bad humors.
Have these leeches go fuck your wife, and you'll be better.
Your blood is really bad. We need to let it all out of you.
Oh, you guys are gonna love this. You guys are gonna love this next part.
No, please tell me we do not get into modern bloodletting.
No. So what I'm expressing is that UFOs are a common globally cited occurrence, right? There's been sightings ever since World War II, and you're probably wondering, when did the American fascination with UFOs start, right? So like most people point to Roswell, some like weird events in the 50s, but a lot of scholars mark 1947 as the start of the UFO craze, with the story of Kenneth Arnold and the 9 UFOs. So Kenneth Arnold, born March 29th, 1915, was a well-known American aviator, businessman, and politician. He was lieutenant governor of Idaho in 1962 and claimed to have seen 9 UFOs while flying his plane from Chehalis, Washington to Yakima, Washington. So
you gotta fuck a Chehalis.
That event is just basically where it blew up. Kenneth Arnold's flying his plane from one side of the state to the other, sees non-unidentified flying objects, and reported his findings to like the military, and like at that time, like who like controlled like flight control and shit like that, right? And like the world took that by storm, as well as like other events like the Roswell crash or the Barney and Betty Hill incident just captivated Americans. And personally, I feel like why we have such a weird obsessive UFO culture is due to the changing times and technology. So I feel like the UFO craze mirrors our current obsession with social media, right? So like I think of shit like the Hailey Bieber shit, right? Where everyone just like dogs pile on like arbitrary shit she does, but it's like this circle that is following this. And at the time, aliens and UFOs were mainly a work of science fiction, and I thought of creatures from another world felt captivating. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Tentatively, yes.
Okay, cool.
I feel like I'm in like a Christopher Nolan Batman movie, and the Joker's like explaining something to me.
Oh, there's your hair
like
I have to fully get it, or I'm not gonna go see my family.
I feel like every sentence you say is a punch to the face.
That's great. This is gonna be a kick, I'm stomping your head in. So since we were talking about America's Craze with UFOs,
I'll just say that I like Watchmen too.
Now we're gonna get into the weird world of this shit. So we're gonna talk about starseeds. So starseeds are sometimes called indigo children, and if you remember from the last episode, starseeds is a new age concept. So it's believed indigo children possesses special and unusual and sometimes supernatural traits or abilities, but most of the shit I saw is just being empathetic, you know? So different sides of the same coin. Starseeds are believed to be like human hybrids, and Vice has a great doc on YouTube on it, and honestly I feel like this is a new age way of saying you're on the spectrum, right? So like no.
Imagine having to be taught empathy by like being abducted by an alien.
No, so I'm gonna play something for you. So I have another clip. Like I said, this episode's loaded with clips and shit. So why I say that? Because before we even watch that, I'm gonna go to my script real quick. So do you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Dan, I don't see you're in.
I'm in.
So starseeds, this is a little image I have where it's like, it's by the mindful. This is something you'll see on Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Starseeds are individuals who are believed to have originated from other planets, celestial bodies, or galaxies on this earth. They possess spiritual powers, so traits of a starseed can think beyond time, a strong empathy, have deep inner wisdom, feels out of place on this planet, possesses strong intuitive powers, near-death and out-of-body experiences, feeling the isolation of loneliness, helpful, kind, and generous, and different stages of starseed awakenings, a sudden divine experience, change in attitude and beliefs, develops spiritual understanding, growth in inner love and beauty, spiritual healing, higher self-union. So like that's a part of it, right? So just going up to my script.
Just being a decent person.
So it's being a decent person, and Vice had this like funny clip I wanted to show you, right? So this is a part of it where it's this holistic dentistry.
So I went to see the Brands. Idelle, who was a holistic dentist, and her daughter, Diandra, who was a
holistic dentist?
Yeah, so watch this. It's insane.
Dentistry, it turns out, was just like regular dentistry, but with tuning forks sending out psychic vibrations, spiritually charged crystals for patients to hold during their root canal, and funky esoteric necklaces. So, not much.
How's
like
esoteric necklace gonna fill a cavity?
Wait.
Holistic dentistry entails working with materials.
No, it's kind of insane.
This feels like insurance fraud.
No, it does.
Your dental fillings might be poison.
Now, when I said sometimes it's just a fancy way to say you're on the spectrum, you're gonna see why I mean that soon, because I'm like, you should actually go get your child like some kind of like actual like professional help instead of like doing this, because this is not healthy for them.
Fluoride also is a neurotoxin.
Okay.
So you are an indigo?
Yes. At 16, I became a full-blown.
Her name's Indica?
I started seeing angels
Yes.
around people. I started seeing colors. That's the etheric field, the chakras on people. And then I started talking to other forms, so angels, archangels, ascended masters, goddesses.
What
etc.
is going
So
Okay,
it
she
wasn't
needs
about
to like
just-
go get diagnosed for schizophrenia, like unironically.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like
that's a problem. She needs professional help and someone who's not.
It like went from funny to sad like real quick.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to show you guys this clip. I'm gonna continue it because it gets a little better.
separating myself or thinking that it was weird or different. It was just about knowing that there's something more and what can I do with this gift.
We've written this book, Enlightened Indigo Child, so that
Oh,
parents and
baby
children
girl, we're not
together
born in the
can
14th century.
learn
You're
what
not
we
like an
need to
oracle. You
do
can't
to
be an
have a
oracle.
very
You gotta get
healthy
meds, baby.
child. All these kids are being institutionalized and labeled with some horrible mental or emotional disease, which they don't really have.
No.
No, like, I'm sorry.
Well, she was labeled as having some sort of disability, a learning disability. Here's a child who's absolutely brilliant in more ways than one. And
I'm sorry, ma'am. Your daughter is neurodivergent, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong
there's
with that.
absolutely nothing wrong with being neurodivergent.
It's like you don't have to, and this is my problem with this whole idea, because like I quickly realized as doing research for this and like having a deeper understanding of this now, it really is this odd sense of like you don't want to be a mundane person. Like, you have to feel special in this world. And it's just like, it's normal to be empathetic. It's normal to feel lost and lonely. And it's like normal to like have this feeling of like, oh, I'm meant for something bigger than this. And it's like, this is not helping if you indulge in it. And there's another great part when he starts
talking
to.
That's a Gen X thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's where like automatically having a disability is seen as like bad and like almost should be shunned in a sad way. You know what I mean?
So,
and it's like, just because your kid's autistic does not mean that they're unlike any other child, or that like you need to love them less or something. That's interesting.
Exactly. So here's a part of this. Indigo children.
Serafina was diagnosed as indigo at a young age by her mother when she started recognizing her extraordinary gifts.
Were you already interested in the idea of indigo children? Was it something that appealed to you?
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. I think from the time I was in my 20s, I began delving into spirituality and the meaning of life, vibrations, past lives.
When did you first realize that your daughter was an indigo child?
Oh, very, very early on. From the moment that she was an infant, the unique way Serafina sees the world, visually, in terms of perspective, it's very different.
Some people feel that indigo...
And I'm like, there's no, she's just creative. Like, she's just creative. Like, yeah, sure, creative see like different patterns and shit, but it's like, your daughter's not special, you know? So like,
every person thinks their kid is special.
yeah, and it's like, I can even bet like 2 cavemen were in the woods feeling lost and lonely, and like they didn't have people being like, you're a part of some alien race, and it's no, it just means like you're living, you're a good human, right? And I didn't mean to stop the video. I kind of just went back to my script. I have another clip for you. This is from The Alchemist, called "Are You a Starseed?"
While Syrians are known for being the Renaissance man, both masters in the arts and sciences, both sensitive yet stoic, both creative and technologically innovative. The list of starseed origins and their respective traits goes on. The only common thread each starseed group shares is that they can be considered both profoundly sensitive and eccentric. And of course they would be perceived as eccentric. They're effing aliens, why wouldn't they be? We care deeply for animal...
They're effing aliens. Why wouldn't they be?
Wait, hold on. But the whole thing with the Renaissance man statement, that means that barely anybody's a starseed, because we don't have Renaissance men coming out of the woodwork, because that, at that point, what's the point of being a Renaissance man?
Yeah, so when we were listening to that video, did you hear that beginning of it where she talked about like a Arcturian starseed, right? Arcturian starseed?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I heard it.
There's other types of starseeds, and apparently somewhere around the 20ish range. And if the starseed questionnaire I read to you earlier didn't lie to me, there's one race I've heard brought up while researching, called the Arcturian starseeds. So what is an Arcturian starseed? They're methodical and organized, analytical, love science, math, and technology, loves ancient civilizations and sacred geometry, calm and quiet, but can have and will share strong opinions, great advisors, you know, few close friends, reserved, declined, hardworking, non-conformist, tend to be slim and smaller, sensitive to cold, prefers warm environments. So that's why I brought Isaiah along, because he's an Arcturian starseed. He fits this he fits the whole checklist. Isaiah, how do you feel about that, buddy?
I disagree.
Now it's you to a T, man. Like Arcturians, they're a very advanced extraterrestrial civilization from the solar system of Arcturus, who wish to share their knowledge and wisdom with the citizens of Earth, and they are described as other dimensional and are highly advanced star beings. You know, they even have their own wiki page. Like, they have their own wiki fandom page.
You know it's true because it has a Wikipedia page.
So now that we talked about starseeds, I want to talk about something in the same spirit. So you have like the general idea of starseeds. We talked about the aliens.
This would make a cool cartoon.
Yeah,
I would like this as a cartoon.
So
this
one, Isaiah's gonna fact check, but it's true. I fact checked this like multiple times. So I'm gonna set the scene. It's 1847, and a young man named Austin Henry Layard is an archaeologist. He is celebrated because his excavations greatly increased knowledge of the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia. And while he is in the area, he discovers the city of Nineveh and Nimrud in the late 1840s, early 1850s, right? And that area is important is because we know that as modern day Iraq. So why this is important is because he found a wealth of Sumerian tablets that is an early record, or at least gives us an idea of life and culture in ancient Sumer. It's how we know about the epic of Gilgamesh and the flood tablets, or the legal laws protecting divorced women and stop. I shit you not, they had better laws than we do now because they protect divorced women as well as they have laws protecting price gouging. And I'm like, oh, not everything is
okay,
fucking.
but like Enkidu isn't real though.
Who?
Enkidu, Gilgamesh's buddy, his boyfriend.
We don't know, bro. We don't know. But
I do know that Enkidu's not real.
We don't know that.
I do know
We don't know that.
Enkidu
So,
was not real.
A big part of this myth. So for starters, the Anunnaki revolves around Sumer. They are the gods of the ancient Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians who ruled ancient Sumer, right? The Sumerian civilization existed from 4100 BCE until around 1750 BCE. And the word Anunnaki is derived from Anu, meaning princely offspring or offspring of An. And you'll see a lot of this starseed conversation information will relate back to shit with the Anunnaki. And this is why I'm bringing it up now, because the Anunnaki is surprising a big section of this.
But so wait, am I a starseed too? Am I gonna find out later that I'm a starseed?
You are. We're all starseeds. We're all starseeds.
Of course.
We're all starseeds. So this is. Listen, y'all niggas gonna hate me. So, the Anunnaki were believed to be in charge of Sumerians' fates, and part of the mythos shows the Anunnaki passing judgment on humans. So why does this matter? Well, the gods were described as children of the earth and sky, and while many chalk this up to, ancient myths to explain the world around us,
yes,
some believe the Anunnaki may have been real. And a popular theory, and truth to be told, I am a fan of, and to be honest, also does the thing I mentioned about starseeds, making you feel better about yourself, is that they came to Earth from another planet, a mysterious planet called Planet X, or some call it Nibiru. So you might have heard, I think it was last year, or like during COVID, if you're on TikTok around that time, there was a lot of things about like Planet X is passing us, Nibiru is passing us, and it's gonna be like the end of days or whatever. Or like, I think that was when we were talking about black people getting superpowers and shit like that. It was like shit with that.
Yeah.
Which believers believe that Nibiru, Planet X, passed Earth thousands of years ago. So why do you guys think the Anunnaki would come to Earth and pose as gods? I'm asking you guys a question.
I don't think they have.
I don't think they have. But to humor you, all right.
Humor me.
So,
humor me.
I don't know where to start. Okay. Why would they? Because this is the plot of Assassin's Creed.
Isaiah, what about you? Isaiah.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Well, Isaiah, you're wrong, and Dane, you're wrong as well. So, there's a book called The Lost Book of Enki, and it explains it well. So, it's 445,000 years ago. And astronauts from another planet came to Earth in search of gold. 445,000.
Okay.
And astronauts from another planet came to Earth in search of gold.
Shut the fuck up.
Now, I've heard different takes on this, and I'm gonna explain both takes. Take them with a grain of salt. Take them all with a grain of salt. So I've heard that the Anunnaki, just like what we're doing to our own planet, destroyed their planet and destroyed their atmosphere and needed gold and specific material, like minerals and materials to fix their planet. They were on a dying planet. Gold? Climate. I've heard from different spheres, like talking about this in like weird groups. It's like they had like a specific device that would like restore their climate because climate change just got so fucking bad. And it was like a I don't want to say a weather controlling machine. That sounds like some shit out of G.I. Joe, but it's basically that.
Okay, but why would they need gold for it?
No.
They figured out they needed gold for it after they built it. They were like, "Oh shit!"
No, like that's the thing.
Something.
You're
I
missing.
knew he forgot something.
No, you're missing it. You're missing it. So they destroyed, like we're doing. We're depleting our planet of natural resources. The Anunnaki did the same. So when it came to refuel their machine, they're like, "We used up all of our gold making this fucking machine." So now
that
I'm sorry.
This does sound like a society that should lie.
So it doesn't make sense to me because the universe is teeming with gold and other minerals. So them choosing Earth is weird, but fuck it. And the second one I heard,
why the fuck would they choose Earth?
Now I gotta find the information so I can send it to you, Dane and Isaiah, because I feel like Dane, you'll like it because it's basically like space Game of Thrones. So like the second is that there was a great war that destroyed their planet. It was like a civil war on the planet. And basically...
See, it's not like Game of Thrones. It's not like Game of Thrones. Because when I talk about Game of Thrones, I don't talk to people like it's real. Because people made it up. Because a man made it up.
So they needed to flee their planet. So they took their like survivors of this conflict, right, left and found a planet that was similar to their own. And when they landed on it, it was Earth as we know it, and it was abundant with minerals they need. And so either way, the Anunnaki in the end creates a spaceport, mining operations, and even a way station on Mars, which is purportedly still there and just buried under the Martian surface and shit. And because their numbers were dwindling, the astronauts had to make slaves. So they genetically engineered early Homo sapiens. And I didn't really research the rest of it because I'm like, it's kind of bullshit. Somewhere in the later story, the Anunnaki kind of destroys himself again and humans like take over. But like there's too much with that. When I say that is because I have to mention it before like someone watches this and say, hey bro, what the fuck about this? So a lot of the Bible's
no one's gonna say that.
A lot of the Bible's mythology stems from the region's mythos. So a lot of like the Bible as we know is mythology. No. Listen to me. So like a lot of Christian belief comes from that area, right? And I have to mention this is because I've seen a lot of people linking this with the Bible, and there is an Anunnaki subreddit too, which is fun to read and has posts by believers that talk about different ideas. And there's a part of the story where basically after they created humans, the Anunnaki is just like, yeah, humans are our slaves, they're doing this, but like they like humans enough to give them access to Eden, their home built garden that they kind of like took from them from the stars. So they're like,
so where are they now?
Let me finish. So they give humans access to Eden. That's the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve. And they have specific shit in there that like humans eat the apple and they gain hyperintelligence like the Anunnaki. And there's also stories relating to like Cain and Abel. I'm not going to say Cain and Abel yet. I missed the crucial part. The Anunnaki fell in love with human women because they were like, damn, really made these humans sexy, and inadvertently created what the Bible calls the Nephilim. So like these giant humans.
Okay, Darian, you're making this podcast Ancient Aliens, and I can't let you do this.
No, dude.
I can't let you do this.
This is the episode. As well as the fact
Darian
that like,
has a schizophrenic break.
So the story of
episode.
The story of Cain and Abel is actually like Cain got jealous of an Anunnaki man and attacked him and tried to kill him, and as punishment he had to wear the mark of Cain that symbolized that like he was like a betrayer, and like it would be passed down from generation to generation like in the Bible.
Oh, but he figured out how to kill one of them, so why are they so
he didn't
strong?
kill it. I said he tried to kill him. The Anunnaki is strong.
Wait.
You're missing the crucial detail here. The Anunnaki are self-destructive, and they kind of just destroyed themselves. And the humans were like, "Cool, we have all this shit now."
Why did they do that?
What's the point?
So
why did they do that?
It's because how humans are like destroying their own planet, and it's like, hey man, we only have one planet.
No.
Metaphor.
I'm having so much fun here. Now, with that, before the Anunnaki basically like genocided themselves, they wiped all of humankind's memories. So that's why.
Of course they did.
So that's why we don't have the spaceports. We can't find the mineral mines because the Anunnaki wiped proto-humans' minds, and after that, it was just like proto-humans and like Nephilim mating, creating like having these like starseed hybrid babies, and that's created us.
Okay, there's an easier answer for
Also,
this.
memory isn't genetic.
What were you saying,
Memory
Isaiah?
isn't genetic.
The easier answer to all of this is that none of this happened.
You're wrong. You're wrong. So now that
They
we got
wiped their brains. No, it just doesn't exist. We can't find the mineral mines. They don't exist.
We can't find the mineral mines.
Oh my god, that's so funny. So now that we talked about this, and Isaiah, great segue, because we're also going to talk about alien programming. So I want to start with my personal favorite show with 19 seasons and 181 episodes. Ancient Aliens, baby.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you. You're a piece of shit. I can't believe you.
So Ancient Aliens is a cable television show produced by Prometheus Entertainment. And if you remember coming home from school and flipping through the channels, you found this show on the History Channel. Now I have a
only if you
sidetrack.
were a fucking schizophrenic person.
Now I have a sidetrack.
Or you're trans, or on the LGBT spectrum. You have to,
Do not come for my ass like this, please.
No.
Oh, no, it has to happen.
Dane just punched Isaiah right in the gut. I have
every trans person listening to this episode is gonna go, ooh, yeah.
We love you. Prometheus Entertainment is a weird production company, because you would think their programming would be one thing through like the years, right? Apparently fucking not. So like you should know them from The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, The Unexplained, The Curse of Oak Island, and like Ancient Aliens, but they also had like random shows like Medical Investigations that appeared on NBC. It was a medical drama show. My other favorite one was High Maintenance 90210 that premiered on E. They also have 2 TV films, Star Wars The Legacy Revealed, a TV documentary, and Star Wars The Empire of Dreams, the story of the Star Wars trilogy, as well as
Wait, what?
I actually watched this show last night, and you can ask Ryan because I was shitting on it the whole time. They also produced the Playboy show The Girls Next Door, where it was Hugh Hefner and all of his girlfriends living in a mansion. It was a reality show. I think I broke everyone's brain there.
Okay. That's okay. All right, let's get back on track because I'm losing you here.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make that sidetrack because I was looking them up and it's weird. So I couldn't find any scandals or drama, but it's weird. It went from mainly shows like The Girl Next Door, a Playboy reality show, a drama like Medical Investigation, a couple documentaries on Superman and Star Wars, and a fuck ton of paranormal shows. But Ancient Aliens is their most popular property. And if you need to know anything about Ancient Aliens, ancient alien theorists believe that years ago, aliens visited Earth, were respected as gods, and as a person who genuinely believes in aliens, this show feels like total bullshit.
I can't believe you just used their language to us so confidently. Ancient alien theory. How dare you? How How dare you?
So I do love watching the show, and some of the ideas in the programming is interesting, but most of it seems like conspiratorial crap. And before any fans of the show write me any hate mail, each episode gives off different ideas on why aliens came to Earth or how they developed humanity, and sometimes episodes accidentally throw other ideas under the bus. Like I remember watching one episode where I was like, oh, this is why aliens came here. This was an accident they created here. And I was like, oh no, aliens came here and created humans as like a slave race. Or it was just like, yeah, it's just too much bullshit, right? And like every religion has a creation myth and like a flood myth. And it's not far-fetched to just believe that like older civilizations weren't as knowledgeable as we are now, and just was like making shit up to explain shit that was just randomly happening. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. We're in normal people territory again. Thank God.
Now, while I am hating on the show, I don't hate it as much as I dislike Gaia Online. And this is the part I'm ready to talk about. It's a collective on the borderline of cult and conspiracy. And do you guys know anything about Gaia Online?
Gaia Online?
Or not Gaia Online, it's just called Gaia. Gaia Online is like an anime gaming website. I was a nerd as a kid, sorry.
I do not know about Gaia Online.
So Gaia...
No, I've never heard.
Gaia is an interesting website. So we're actually going to go through this together. This is a live reaction, guys, of Gaia and showing them the site's content. And this is a YouTube channel I'm showing you guys first. Then I'm going to actually show you the website.
Okay.
So... everyone's in my stream?
Ooh, pyramids, fun.
Period, bro. So Gaia, the YouTube channel, has a bunch of shit. They have my boy Bob Lazar, Area 51 and flying saucers. We talked about that in the last episode. Becoming Nobody, Sirius, and they have other original programming, mystery teachings, interviews with extra dimensionals, disclosure with Dr. Stephen Greer, deep space, ancient civilizations, and it all goes on, right? So why I have to bring this up, you'll see advertising for Gaia everywhere. I've seen it on like other YouTube channels, other YouTube videos, and it does the thing of trying to sound smart, but it's like new agey smart, where it's like, this is why this is happening, or like, isn't it interesting like this? Here's Dr. Person who has like a PhD in something wholeheartedly different than what the fuck we're talking about. They have like live shows, live readings, like automatic writing with
Gandalf,
Kadrick Olsen.
Gandalf.
And why I have to bring this up is because Gaia is everyone's like, Gaia is brain rot. Gaia is purely brain rot, but you can find it everywhere. They have an app you can get on like Roku and shit and streaming. And there's a bunch of people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural, Caroline Miss, Revolutionizing Spirituality, Graham Hancock, A Magic Mystery Tour. And I'm so glad I get to talk to you guys about this, because Isaiah and Dane, if you think I've already broke your spirit now, Matthias De Stefano will break your spirit. Remembering Humanity's Mission. This one's my favorite.
Oh God.
This one's my total favorite. So I'm gonna move.
Kill all the black people.
No, I'm gonna move my script. I'm gonna move my script over. So
no, does it get there?
So
Kill all the black people.
We're going to get there, but it's not black people. It's another unfortunate race of people who get to shit end of the stick way too many times. So I am spiritual. I do believe in a form of the afterlife. I have especially believed that by like, you know, like reading about NDEs, psychedelic experiences, and other spiritual texts. And I do believe there's more to this life, but all of this is just con artist shit, especially Matthias De Stefano. So now that we're here and we already checked out Gaia, we're gonna check out this video. So this is...
The boy says he lived during...
Atlantis before being reborn. This is a boy who remembers his past lives.
Cool.
There's 2 videos on this. I didn't put it in my notes, but I'm going to show you this one. Matthias started remembering his past...
This is a really cool TV show. This would make a really cool TV show.
He started remembering his past lives when he was 12, Dane.
When he was 12?
He's not... This isn't a TV show, Dane. I'm putting the music because this is a long video. I'm just playing it so we don't get copyrighted. He then started sharing his drawings with his mother. he remembers living in the Atlantis colony in Egypt 12,000 years ago.
Wait.
And that Atlantis was founded by beings from other worlds 30,000 years ago. The first colonies of Atlantis extended from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean.
So does he only have his current life and then his one past life is 12,000 years ago in Atlantis?
That's a really good point.
I want to actually play him talking. There were 12 families that ruled the earth, right? So
yeah,
it was a I can't pronounce this word.
Matriarchal.
Yeah, there we go. Matriarchal society where women were the rulers. I love a girl boss. All their wisdom was recorded in water, ice, and crystals.
Slay Queen.
How did they put their wisdom in water, ice, and crystals?
No, they're the Kryptonian.
Yes, it's literally just a Kryptonian. I'm like, dude, he was a Superman fan.
Kryptonian crystals from Superman, yeah.
He was a Superman fan and wanted to make his own thing. These ETs look similar to ancient skulls that have been found across the world. They're talking about the crystal skulls.
We also know that there are cultures that extended their head. Like, that's just a thing. That's not aliens.
Isaiah, you're wrong. And ETs so there it is. There it is. ETs from Sirius and Arcturus, Vega, and the Pleiades left Atlantis and returned home. Pleiades. Now, there we go. I didn't skip. The goal of Atlantis was to make. Oh, sorry. What was that, Isaiah?
I mean, it said the last slide said that they went home, but I thought they destroyed themselves.
No, that was the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
This is a whole different idea. The Anunnaki and this are two separate beliefs, Isaiah. I'm sorry if it's like too much for you to understand right now.
It's nonsense words.
So the goal of Atlantis was to make humans the record keepers of the galaxy. And today at 32, he still teaches what some Atlanteans knew. He says he remembers so he could share with others our purpose in the cosmos. Matthias explains his latest teachings on a new series called Initiation on Gaia. Let me find it. Is he talking in this part? I want to show you how he sounds.
My memories are bound into my spiritual mind, or higher self, what I call Gan.
Yeah,
and my emotions through my soul, and its memory of 3 specific lives.
I remember why I didn't put that
one,
on the script because it's right here.
12,000 years ago in the River Nile. Another one, 900 years ago in Scandinavia. And the farthest one, almost 60 million Earth years ago.
No.
In Gluduk, a planet in Sirius.
Oh, man.
Let's begin where there was no beginning.
Dude, we're going back, Isaiah. We're going back. And
on Gluduk?
He's a shitter. This is bullshit. Listen, it's bullshit. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, even I'm like, that's ridiculous. But my favorite video next by Gaia is a Pleiadian describing extraterrestrial races in our galaxy. Now, I'm only going to play a clip for us to hear of the Pleiadian talking. It's clearly fucking AI, but I want to show you how the races look because, again,
oh no.
Again, I need to stress, I do believe in the afterlife and aliens, but there's 1, evidence of humanity's evolution, and 2, I don't think it's hard to accept that maybe, just maybe, life is a fluke chance, and it's only 1 in a million with the right conditions we got humanity as we know it. I don't think this life has to be extra special to live something fulfilling, you know? And it's like, if you're a fan of Gaia,
life
I'm
is
not
beautiful in and of itself.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of Gaia, I'm not shitting on you. But I think it's weird when you look at like these videos and it's like showing all these extraterrestrial races, and they're mostly just like white dudes. And like the one alien that is like, that looks like a nigga. When you see this alien, I'm gonna show you guys.
Many humanoids.
Lion Man.
Let's start from the basics. With
That's a Pleiadian.
Before. It is not that life is.
He just looks like what's her face, Liv Tyler from Fellowship of the Ring.
Outside Earth, life is not the exception. It is the norm in the universe. Everything is life.
Everything is life.
Everything is consciousness.
So I'm gonna stop it there because I want to show you the other alien races, right? So I'm just gonna flip through the video real quick. So you see alien races like this.
The humanoid races are the norm, being the most common ones.
Like, why would humanoid races as we know it be common? Like, there's different conditions where life can grow, where like scientists have even talked about like how like there could be like an actual like not reptilian but like a scaly humanoid type race out in the universe. Why would they just look like fucking Aryans, dude?
Like
white
us,
hair,
that's boring.
blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin. It's kind of sussy. It's kind of sussy. And they're like living on ancient cities, and there's shit like this. Where they live in a high technological city. Some people can alter their DNA, like this one. This one lives on Dune. It's literally just Dune.
It would pass to the countless others who look like humans, but they already clearly differ in something that would not make them pass for a human.
And again, like I said, it's weird to me when they're mostly white for like the main humanoid races. Then you have your grays with like the Nordic features, like blonde hair and shit like that. We have our reptilians, lizard men. We have, this is just Skyrim, by the way. They're literally just Skyrim races.
No, I'm like, looks like a cool ass video game.
Countless other
Cool, I wanna play as like lizard man.
Canines.
There's a dog people.
Ants, giant ants. Elephant man.
Each one at
like robot one, AI.
And social development.
So let me show you my favorite. Where is this one guy? This is them.
So be for real. How many people believe in like this stuff?
Too many.
Specifically.
Like literally too many. Too many. Because there's a person I'm about to talk about after this video that is pretty famous. Everyone has seen her. She was a big Disney star, and all I gotta say is Camp Rock, if you know who I'm talking about. Yes, Demi Lovato is a fan of Gaia, and we're gonna talk about that after I show you a couple more minutes of this video. Because the Demi Lovato one is kind of sussy. So you see like the gray aliens and everything. You see aliens like that. Then like, I was like, I think it's weird that like all these aliens just look like your generic white dude or like white chick or like this guy kind of looks Native American, right?
They are not interstellar.
Then when you get like, I'm like, well, are we gonna see any aliens that look African American? The one we do. Let me find them. I was like,
oh, is it like the Star Trek planet in Next Generation, the Africa planet?
This is him.
No.
I was like, no. I don't like that.
No.
When I saw this, I was like, that's just a nigga. I was like, that's just a
nigga.
Anything to do with the Pleiades and
Jake Sully.
Yes. Not because they are sauroids means they are negative.
Do they have anything to do with Draco reptilians?
Sure are negative.
Same family? Alpha Draconians?
No, Alpha Draconians, and they're kind of like the bad aliens, and I'm like, I don't like that you made the bad aliens. Are we the war
species?
Yes, and I don't like that you made the bad aliens look black, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that's a little sus, bro.
We're the evil race.
I mean, we get dragons though, which is tight, but I'm like,
that's so cool though. I'm all right. That's you know what? Listen, fair trade off. If I get dragon powers out being the evil race, I'm cool with that.
So yes, even Demi Lovato, yes, that fucking Demi Lovato joined Gaia, and she has even talked about her own extraterrestrial experience, and we're gonna play it now.
Have you ever had an experience?
She was on the Kelly Clarkson show.
An ET face to face, but I have seen a lot of weird things in the sky that can't be explained, and even on the ground.
Nope.
Yes.
No, but you did hypnotherapy, and I've always wanted to do it for like separate reasons, but like you did hypnotherapy to learn more about the encounter, right?
Yes.
Did you have a crazy?
So I didn't mention hypnotherapy in my my research because I'm like, I think hypnotherapy is a weird gray area for me. Yeah, it's a weird gray area
bag
for
of
me.
Tricks.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Super Eye Patch Wolf does a really good video on like hypnotics and psychics and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's like,
I do not like the Kelly Clarkson show as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Experience doing it?
I didn't have like a crazy experience doing it, but I think doing it for this, I did it for a crazy experience that I had.
Yeah.
I had a night where I was dreaming, and I say dreaming very loosely because I don't really know what happened, but I all of a sudden was in my room, and I know I said, I sound like this is gonna sound so out
I'm gonna
there,
skip a little bit.
And then, so I woke up in my room, and there was like 3 beings. And they were like, do you want to see your planet? And I was like,
So from there, they took her into space and she saw Earth from space, which a lot of abduction experiences, like our man we talked about from the last episode who banged the alien queen, also experienced. Dane, Isaiah, thoughts?
I sent you a message.
Hang on, let me see what he sent me. That we're not saying that one on the podcast.
I can't say it.
We're not saying that on the show.
With me?
Share that with Isaiah,
I'll
please.
share it with you. I'll share it with the class.
So, why
I use the correct pronouns.
So why?
So like,
yeah, no, of course. So
I wasn't being transphobic with it. It wasn't a transphobic.
Okay. So why the Demi Lovato thing is being mentioned is because a YouTuber I like, he makes some pretty good videos. A YouTuber of the name Ryan Beard made a video. It's in the show notes, pointing out how Gaia is a little racist, and Gaia did the Lizard Cabal thing and had a collection of Cabal exposing documentaries on its site. And one was done by a guy by the name of David Icke, who has an interestingly weird past. So he started off as a professional soccer player, then became a sports broadcaster, then a conspiracy author. And he's pretty much who started the reptilians rule over us stuff.
Oh, so they're all secret black people?
No, not black people.
They're all secret Jewish people.
Thank you, Jews.
Okay, but aren't black people descended from the dragon men?
Dane, I can't explain this enough. They're different ideas, man. Everyone has an explanation, man. Either we're descendants of the Anunnaki, or we're star seeds from a race of aliens that love us, and like black people might be a war race. Like
or the Mormon one.
Or the Mormon one. Like it's all bullshit in the end. Like it's all bullshit in the end. Like there's no clear consensus, and that's why like I hate this shit, and why like UFOs and aliens will never lose its stigma in any kind of serious regard or conversation, because all this exists.
Unless
this
they
exists.
touch down and like prove to like really have evident proof. No, I'm never gonna really believe it.
No,
like, what the hell?
If an alien comes to Earth and has the Voyager 1 gold record of humanity we sent out, I would be like, okay, yeah, aliens are real. They found us. They found the record. They transcribed it. They know what they're looking for. I think aliens are real, and somewhere out there, maybe they can travel through dimensions, and maybe they're a non-space traveling race, right? The idea we are alone is silly because we never really left our observable universe, or the fact that we haven't been to any like exoplanets. We found multiple exoplanets, but we haven't been to a single one. So like what I'm trying to like end the main part of this episode with is that there's stars light years away from us. And I like to imagine some lizard ape man is having this same discussion on his alien podcast. But the conspiracy and general obsession doesn't help the conversation. And I'm afraid even with the congressional hearings, or even if we ever reach full disclosure, the conversation has already been muddied and ruined by crooks and charlatans, that like there's too many bad actors to get any kind of like reality into the conversation. And how I want to end this episode off on, because we've been recording for an hour and 8 minutes. I want to do what light beings are you? The star
Yeah,
seed
let's go.
quiz and
Let's
test.
do it.
I'm gonna
All
start.
right.
I'm starting with you, Isaiah. So, which one of these rocks appear to you in a spiritual nature?
The
What's a
third-
JPEG of like a diamond that Catwoman steals?
No, this one.
Yeah.
All right, that one. So, which dominant personality trait best describes you? Dutiful and responsible, creative and gentle, reclusive and quiet, or active and purposeful? I think it's this one.
Yeah, I'm caught between creative and gentle and reclusive and quiet.
We're gonna go with reclusive and quiet. Which recreational activities most appeal to you? Playing chess, bridge, or mind games? Relaxing, sailing, swimming, or other aquatic activities? Gentle bush walking and meditating, or brisk walking and running?
All of these playing chess, bridge, or mind games one.
All right. Which professional career most appeals to you? Judge, artist, healer, or editor?
Judge, jury, or executioner?
Artist?
Executioner.
Which one, man?
Artist.
Artist. Which of the following words have the most emotional effect on you? Justice, Alcyon, Kesh, Dolphin.
Alcyon.
Alcyon. Which color combination has the most emotional effect on you? Purple and red, green and blue, white and gold, or blue and gold?
Green.
Green and blue. Which culture are you most instinctively attracted to? Ancient Rome, the Renaissance era, ancient Lemuria in the South Pacific, or Egypt? I feel like Isaiah.
What the fuck is ancient Lemuria?
Oh, yeah. Aliens, bro.
The Renaissance era.
Renaissance, all right. Which gift to humanity do you feel has been the most to its emotional well-being? Law and order, artistic abilities, unity and compassion, or cats, dolphin, and whales?
Okay. Unity and compassion.
All right. How would you describe your normal work practices? Structured and practical, laid back and free-flowing, quiet and effective, or active and capable?
Is this like my natural work or like my job?
Your normal work practices, like when you're writing, man. Think of that.
Probably the laid back and free flowing.
I picked that one too as well. Which traits do you most dislike in others? Rigidity and restriction, over familiarity, or laziness and slavishness? All right, lazy.
No. I was being an asshole. Rigidity and restriction.
All right. Oh, too late. I can't unpick it.
Oh.
If you had to change the color of the sky, which color combination would you choose? Pink and blue, pale green, white, or royal blue?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably pale green because it's the most. It's like the color that you don't see in a lot.
I picked that one too because that was the one that most like.
Where are you going with that one?
I saw your snap. That's why. Which flower best describes your personality? A deep purple orchid, a pale green fern, a white snowdrop, or a blue Canterbury bell?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what a snowdrop or a Canterbury bell look like. I'm drawn to the green fern.
I chose green fern as well. And which type of movies are you most likely to go out and pay to see? I chose a well-critiqued foreign film, one with a spiritual theme, light, popular, or documentary.
So go with the critiqued foreign film.
Me too, brother. Me too. When a problem presents itself, which way do you respond? Think it over carefully and respond coolly and logically. Try to forget about the problem and hope it will go away. Deal with it quietly but feel angry for some time, or get annoyed initially and then find a practice solution.
Did it quietly.
Deal with it quietly. All right. Which famous person do you most admire?
It's Van Gogh. You don't even have to read them out.
Van Gogh. All right. Which of these statements do you most commonly say? I'll just think about that for a minute. I can't be bothered doing that. I like some peace and quiet on my own. Let's go on with it. Let's get on with it.
Probably get on with it.
Let's get on with it. All right. Let's see what starseed you are. Oh man, you're a Pleiadian. You're a fucking Pleiadian. You are an Pleiadian being.
Fucking Pleiadian scum.
You are someone who has.
I hope I turn out to be a cool war dragon, man.
Just another thing to be impressed about.
What a dragon!
You're someone who has big visions and great communication skills. You motivate people into your grand schemes. You like to motivate people with the motto, just do it. That's Nike, what the fuck? You live by this motto. Once you see the great, beautiful vision, you are on the go. You tend to jump at your grand visions, even if it means using shifty and mean methods. Your biggest asset is your communication skills. You're good at selling your ideas with a great vision and a sense of humor. You're very enthusiastic about life. You are a great charmer.
So this is not accurate to me.
Yeah. All right, now Dane,
No,
sir.
it's totally accurate. Oh, I have to do one too?
Oh, yeah, I'm enthusiastic about life.
Dane, I'm not reading them over. Just start picking them.
The green one.
Green one. Creative and gentle.
Creative. Yeah.
All
right. Gentle bushwalking.
All right.
Artist.
All right.
Justice.
All right.
White and gold.
All right.
Ancient Rome, because I'm.
True
Law and Order.
Law and Order.
Structured and practical.
All right.
Over familiarity.
All right.
If you had to change the, if I had to change it, fuck you. White.
All right.
Which flower describes you personally? Purple orchid.
Purple orchid.
Light. A well-critiqued foreign film. If I have to pick any.
All right.
Which way do you respond? Try to. The first one.
Think it over. All right. Which famous person do you most admire?
I don't admire any of these people. Albert Einstein, since apparently the Dalai Lama kissed a kid. Do you commonly see it? Let's get on with it.
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. I don't know about this one. Andromedian.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So
I
you're
seek freedom.
You are an Andromedian and you seek freedom. There is a deep inner thirst and drive that leads you to search for this feeling of freedom. You may change jobs, homes, or relationships in your search. At some point, you will realize that freedom you are seeking and the feelings you often have of being trapped are not due to your actual circumstance. The true freedom you seek comes only from within you. It is found only by developing your self-love and the inner spiritual self. Other than that, you're a very capable being. You work hard, teaching, sharing knowledge. You are very creative and allowing yourself to grow in other areas.
That was just a jumble of words.
That is just it's the thing I'm talking about, where it's like those hit everyone. They're just
those
words.
Were just words.
They're words that make you be like, oh, I really am from another planet. I am an Andromedian. Like, no, you're not, bro.
You're not Superman. I'm sorry. You're not Neo.
You're not fucking. Here's the alien species wiki.
No, it's a fandom wiki.
That is true. Now, you guys might have noticed we did not talk about the Council of Aliens or the guy who fucked aliens. Watched the whole episode because I was like, man, I'm not talking about that again. But this was a fun episode. I say this is a really good episode. This is kind of the content I want to have featured more on this show. I want more scripted content. You will get your normal, we're just shooting the shit, but sometimes I want to talk about odd fucking topics on this fucking show. So you guys
I actually really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Nice.
I enjoyed a scripted version.
Fucking my god.
This was fun.
I'm taking a nap after this, bro. I do not want to stay on Discord after this. I'm relaxing after this, bitch. So you guys, what are your guys' final thoughts, critiques, and your final feelings on everything we discussed today?
Yeah, that's it.
I would say just don't believe everything you see on the internet and don't trust the government.
Hell yeah. That 100%.
Fuck.
Don't trust the government, kids.
And that's where we're ending on.
Fluoride's a toxin.
You guys want to do your pluggables?
I don't have anything to plug right now. I'm working on stuff. You'll see it undoubtedly in the future. I do have some YouTube videos I want to kind of start working on with Isaiah as my editor. Outside of that, you'll see it when you see it.
Isaiah?
I'm hoping to bring back my podcast relatively soon. I don't have a timeline for that though, so nobody's allowed to hold me to it, but it is coming in the future. I don't really have anything else to plug though.
Nice. Well, this was the Pop Shaker podcast and our fucking dumbass episode on aliens. All right. Good night, everybody.